Hello, everyone. This is the Legacy of Leaders show, and I'm your host, Jon Heymann. I'm very excited today to talk to Dr. Steve Barsky, a psychotherapist. Lord knows I may need his services. Anyhow, Dr. Barsky, great to have you with us on the show.
Great to have you, John. Thank
Appreciate
you so much.
it.
Great to be with you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been practicing.
Well, I've been practicing about 46 years. I've been in the field that long. I started out working in Miami at a hospital, Jackson Memorial Hospital, which is affiliated with the University of Miami. I was there 11 years. And it was a very great experience because it was a teaching hospital. So we learned new things, and we were working with the residents, the psychiatric residents, and that I was in the crisis clinic, worked with the teenagers, inpatient, and then group therapy with schizophrenics, and then adult outpatient clinic. So I had a variety of experiences, had great mentors, great supervisors, and working knowledge of working with patients who also may need medication. So that's been very helpful. And then after that, I was in my own practice. And
are you in your own practice now?
I'm in my own practice.
Okay, so you're not part of a larger practice.
No,
it is you.
Single one-man operation.
And you are clearly an expert from everything I've read about you. So thank you for being on our show today.
Length of time, anyway, yeah.
46 years, that's not a short period of time. Let me ask you a real serious question about depression. I wrote a book called Agonizing Peace, but when I've been interviewed, the question I get the most is about depression.
Yes, sir.
Do you deal with that? And perhaps in a minute or so, what kind of suggestions could you give in that area?
That's a staple. Depression, anxiety, trauma, and those are the ones that that reason why people come in, that brings them in. With depression, the first thing I would say is that you may not think you might need therapy, and you may not even be aware. A lot of people are not aware of the degree of suffering that they're contending with, and they're sometimes even used to it and see it almost as normal, but it's not. And I would strongly suggest for people to go to therapy. I think it's very important. I think that by examining your life, talking to someone, understanding where these feelings come from, why you are the way you are in the relationships with people in your life, is a tremendous help. Yeah. And it really helps them with their mood, with their feelings, with how they express themselves. The key is expressing your emotions. A lot of us suppress it, are not aware of it. And that's what depression, if we could say, we used to say, depression is anger turned inward. Yeah. Yeah. And so there's a lot of frustration, a lot of times, a lot of confusion. It's internal. And if we don't express it in the right way, it comes out in symptoms or sometimes even behaviors.
Destructive behaviors.
Destructive
Do you
behaviors.
find that depression and anxiety kind of dovetail together?
Often, very often.
And have you ever dealt with, serious things that I've just been reading about delusions that some people begin to have, and they're very serious, destructive ones?
A lot of people have delusions. They have paranoia. They have concepts about things that make them obsess over things. I think nowadays, unfortunately, there's a lot of things that are going on in the world, and people, it catapults them into delusional thinking at times.
Yeah, yeah. And do you deal with serious cases like that?
I do. I do have experience with that. It's not the mainstay, but I have certainly over the years, especially working in a hospital or working in clinics, I would see that all the time.
Dr. Barsky, do you also recommend medication? Are you a psychiatrist or a psychologist?
I'm a psychologist. I don't recommend, I don't prescribe medication, but I do recommend medications because I've seen it to be very, very effective and helpful when necessary. The research pretty much shows that medication and therapy can be more effective than just medication alone.
Or the other.
Or
alone.
the other. So I think you need both, and it's good to examine yourself and find out if that's the case. Do I need medication? Do I need therapy? Also work with a lot of couples who also are depressed, anxious within the relationship, confused, not sure how to go about straightening out their relationship. And that's an important part too.
Yeah, I would imagine it would be. Well, I appreciate this time with Dr. Barsky. He is an expert in psychotherapy, so if anybody wants to connect with him, you'll see some information at the bottom of your screen. So I'm going to wrap up. My name is Jon Heymann, the host of Legacy of Leaders. Have a great day.